Breaking news out of the association where we will be covering this. I'm Joe the Fan, joined by Shano Mack. Shano, what the hell is going on in the association? Chauncey Billups, the Hall of Famer, Terry Rozier, who plays for the Miami Heat. And, of course, I mentioned Chauncey Billups, who is the current head coach. I say current, okay, head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, but also Damian Jones, a former player who's now an assistant coach for the Cavaliers. Well, he was a player for the Cavaliers, right? And now he's an assistant coach. So apparently they got arrested as part of a pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports betting in rigged poker games backed by the mafia. Shano, your thoughts? It sounds like George Costanza's father. What the hell is going on?
Every time I think of him, why'd you trade Jay Buna for? when Steinbrenner went
yeah.
What the hell you trade Jay Buna for? He had a rocket for it on.
No, I was thinking, when he gets caught in the police station.
Yeah.
My son's a bootlegger.
I remember that one.
And then, he's yelling at like Elaine, and he's like, "What the hell does that mean?" But there's a on it.
I remember that. That was great. This is crazy news. Chauncey Billups thing. So he's getting charged with a legal poker operation tied to the mafia. And there's been news reports coming out saying that they were rigging these games. They had x-rays underneath the tables so they could take pictures of people's cards. Right. They had marked cards and special sunglasses that people were wearing so they could see what cards people had. It is crazy amount of money I read that the mafia got from this. They swindled these people from over $7 million. Yeah. And what it sounds like is Chauncey Billups was a guy that the mob basically hired to come to these games because to try and get some of these high rollers. They're like, hey, we got some big names here, Sure. And then Chauncey Billups is going to be there because it's a big name. He's in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know how involved he is with the rigging. I have no idea. I'm sure that more will come out, but that's huge news. What I think is scarier for the NBA is the Terry Rozier stuff. Terry Rozier was accused of manipulating his performance in games to benefit illegal betting and also tied to the mafia. So if the mafia is paying him for point shaving or they have, hey, we have you under your whatever his line is for points, like his line was 15 and a half, let's say, and he's getting close. He just starts missing on purpose and stuff. That is more of a threat for the NBA, I think, than poker. Poker is gambling, yes, but it's outside its sport. When you start messing with your own games and people can't trust that your own product is safe anymore, that's what's scary for the NBA.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one. But what I've heard, and again, news is starting to come out like crazy. So what I heard was, if it was, for example, 15 and a half point, again, don't quote us on that, guys. Okay. We're just using that as an example. So he would get maybe 8 points, 9 points or whatever. And then, coach, my ankle.
Yeah.
And then pull himself out of the game. And I don't think he's the only one.
No, I don't think so either. And he was investigated before. Terry Rozier was. He was in investigation in 2003 for unusual betting activity on his accounts. And I don't know how many times me and you have said this to these players. Players, wake up. Give your cousin, your cousin's girlfriend $1,500 or whatever you want to bet, and say you make the bet. You stay everywhere away from the casino. Don't even download the gambling apps. Don't download it. Give the money to your friends or something like that to make the bets for you, and say, hey, I'll give you 10% of the winnings or whatever, for making this bet for me. Stay away or just stop gambling. You're making $30 million a year as an NBA player, but
right. And for the record, we're not promoting that.
Yes.
We're just saying.
There's smarter ways to do this, guys.
Exactly. If you're going to be a crook, be smart. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it just goes back to like insider trading, just like what Martha Stewart did. You can't do, can you imagine? I'm not making accusations. I'm not. But the recent news, we're talking about the world, okay? AWS. Who to say that was planned? Hey, wait until it's going to go down. the server and all that's going to go down. People are losing 30%, 35% of whatever. Buy it low, sell hot. It could happen. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, you never know nowadays for sure. But yeah, both of these stories are crazy. And they said there was over 30 people got arrested.
Yeah.
And a couple pro poker players were arrested as well. But it's just, I mean, that is nuts. I heard the news and I was like, this is crazy. And obviously we talk about sports betting. So like, I was like, I talked to you. I was like, hey, we have to talk about this because it's so gambling related. We got to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think Chauncey's probably out of the league for sure after this news.
Yes.
I know you're innocent until proven guilty, but I don't think the FBI is going to be arresting you unless they have a pretty substantial evidence against you.
Well, here's the thing. It wouldn't have been just if it took. And again, I'm not defending anybody. Just like you said, they're innocent until proven guilty. But we're talking 11 states. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where the FBI starts to come in, my guy. Okay. It's not just hey, this took place at Arlington, Virginia. We're not talking that, my friend. We're talking states.
Yeah.
Florida. We're talking everywhere, man. And we're talking about games that are involved from March 23rd and March 24th involving the Hornets. Now we're talking organization. Hornets, Magic, Trailblazers, as we mentioned before, the Raptors, and your boy, the Lakers. Okay. So I'm just saying, and now there's reports. We just got this in. I love how producer Mark just throws stuff at me. Your boy, LaFleur.
Not my boy.
Okay.
Don't put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby.
Bettors allegedly got injury info on Latrash.
Yeah, apparently he was leaking that to people, and that's a big no for the NBA too, and that's their golden boy. I mean, LeBron. Say what you will about him, he's not my favorite player at all.
I know,
but for the most part, he's a pretty anomaly here. I mean, he was hyped to be the best player ever coming out of high school, and he's pretty much lived up to be one of the best players of all time. And he's had a pretty clean slate his whole 20 years in the NBA. And then this is like some news that's coming out that's going to really tarnish his legacy here if it's true. Obviously, they're going to do investigations and stuff like that, I'm sure, but they'll definitely tarnish his legacy. And this is just crazy. And his news just keeps dropping all the time. Like literally, there's I'm on my phone right here in front of me. There's USA Today's got a live update. They're updating it constantly with like news stuff that's coming out.
This is crazy.
It's just crazy, like the stuff that's coming out, and like I can't believe it. It's just.
Well, I'm reading this right here. Let me read this to you real quick, Shano. The investigation outlined two separate cases that we just talked about. That yes. One on illegal sports betting. So before we even get to the second one, let's talk about the sports betting. You can bet on sports, okay? And what we offer is not, hey, go sign up. We don't offer any of that stuff. We're giving our advice. Mm-hmm. We don't have a crystal ball to say, hey, we're not like, Biff from Back to the Future getting or whatever his name is, Marty McFly getting a sports almanac. We don't know what the outcome is, obviously. No. I think the Dodgers might win 4-2. This is taking place the 24 hours before Game 1 of the World Series. So I don't know. I'm just doing based on, we look at the book, we look at the stats, we look at all this stuff, and we just give our opinion, our suggestion. So that's something that they'll need to look into. Now, shaving and, hey, we know people on, I'm not going to Skins camp and say, hey, man, it's Jane Daniels, blah, blah, blah. That would be crooked, right?
Yeah.
So if you see Jane Daniels, I'm talking to DQ, just hypothetical, of course, guys. Well, the spread's currently at -1. Remember, we sent that out. Yeah. I was like, let's go, -3 or whatever it was when it opened. And then now it's at -12, -13. But if DQ said, hey, Joe, listen, we're not going to say anything until Friday, but he ain't playing, bro. Oh, yeah. Okay. And I get in -3. And then 2 days later, that's inside trading right there.
Definitely is.
So that's one. The second one is another on rigged poker games. Now, they even had cameras in the chandeliers, is what I heard.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Stuff like that. They said X-ray tables, high-tech tools that allegedly use to scam people that all the mafia brought in. I mean, it's like this is crazy stuff.
What, what is this? Like Austin Powers #2 with the eye patch?
Yeah. We can see the next card.
Exactly. This also, let me read this real quick to you. Jones, who was, of course, we talked about, Damian Jones, was an unofficial, unpaid part of the former Los Angeles Lakers coach Darvin Ham. He coached the team prior to JJ Redick, currently now. He's no longer with the team. Ham invited Jones to be part of the team activities after James, the bum, spent the summer of the 2022 with Jones present as for many of his off-season workouts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, did we not learn anything from Pete Rose, by the way? I'm just saying. I digress.
And I love Pete Rose.
I love Pete Rose.
Yeah, but definitely.
Yeah.
And there was another report about Chauncey Billups that came out. A pro poker player came out and said Chauncey Billups was involved in a rigged game a couple years ago. I think he said like 2 or 3 years ago. He was sitting there, and the rigged poker game was built around Billups, and basically like it was from the mob. The mob was running it. There's a legal poker game. It was like in a state where it's not legal. So like sports betting is legal, not in every state still. It's still not in every state, but it's in a majority of states now.
Yeah, 34 states.
Yeah, so it's in a majority of states now. And then poker is still, it's not legal and nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. And if it is, you have to do it at a casino. You know, you have to go to, like in West Virginia, you have to go to Charlestown, or Maryland, you have to go to MGM, right? So you can't have these you can have home poker games with people, but you can't have these high limit games on your own. That's illegal still.
Correct. I talked to a friend of mine. I didn't mean to cut you off. I talked to a friend of mine hours before we got on the air here. That's correct, because you have eyes in the sky. If you go to the casino, guys, there's an eye in the sky. Everybody's watching,
Oh yeah.
So that's where you're betting. Hey, that's why they have poker tournaments. We saw it at Circa. We've seen it. But you can have it at your own house. Hey man, there's a couple bucks here and there. You're smoking a couple of cigars. Fantastic. But we're not dropping $100 million. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars, man. Right. It's crazy.
Me and my buddies, we used to play like a weekly poker game. We'd be $50 buy-in. We all put $50 in. No FBI's investing somebody for $50.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But when you're betting, like they said, the estimated, they think it might be more. But like I said, the mafia brought in, they took about over $7 million from these people that they were bringing in for these rigged poker games. I mean, that's a lot of money. And then when you do it in multiple states, that FBI agents are going to be all over that. They're going to be scrapping from getting everything they can. But it doesn't look good for Billups. Doesn't look good for him at all. And Terry Rozier, he's already suspended indefinitely right now, until proven innocent. If he is proven innocent, he's suspended right now by the NBA, and I doubt that he'll probably be back in the NBA with this news, even if he's found innocent.
Sure. Again, producer Marcus sending this to me right on the fly on the screen here. Here we go. A total of 34 people were arrested as a result of a years-long investigation covering 11 states and involving tens of millions of dollars. FBI Kash Patel reported this earlier. Law enforcement officials said that the multiple charges involve four mafia families and organized crime networks. Patel saying that the money involved, that the fraud is mind-boggling. This is crazy. This isn't like remember the old Sopranos episode?
Yeah.
With Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah.
No, this is way beyond that.
Way beyond that. Yeah, I remember that episode. They had Lawrence Taylor there, and like David Lee Roth was there. And then I think like Frank Sinatra Jr. was in another episode where they brought him in. But it's like that's like what the mob does for these games. They get these people that like this guy's worth $1 million or whatever. Let's try and get him in, try and take some money from him in these poker games. And they're like, hey, look, Lawrence Taylor's gonna be playing with us. They're not going to try and rig Lawrence Taylor. He's their cash cow. They want the guy to cut. They'd be like, hey, I get to sit and play poker with Lawrence Taylor. And if he loses $250,000, he's like, hey, at least I had fun and I got to hang out with Lawrence Taylor. And like when you're worth millions of dollars, it's not that big of a loss to you. But when you do that for years and you're building up millions and millions of dollars, I mean, that's huge. It's huge.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. So question number one, what would former Commissioner Commissioner David Stern, if he was still alive, what would he do? I bet you just like blame it on one person. That's it. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm
But-
sure. Well, you know that when Jordan first retired, there was rumors about him gambling, not on basketball. It was more poker and stuff like that, which back in the 90s was like definitely taboo, even more so than today, unless you're in Vegas,
right?
right? unless you're there. But so that first retirement, people were saying that David Stern kind of like told him like, hey, instead of suspend it, let's just say you retire for a year and come back. That's never been proven, anything like that. But that's a rumor, all that stuff. Trust me, I'm not saying that happened, guys.
Right.
But that's been a rumor for years that was the case there.
I'll tell you what's not happening anytime soon: an NBA franchise in Las Vegas. That is not happening. And of course, we should get Her Excellency in this. But you know, they have, of course, the champion, the current champions now. They just won the Las Vegas Aces. So yeah. This is crazy. I can't believe it. And again, if even Patel even mentioned, hey, look, if you did stuff legally, you know, again, going on your sports app or what have you, and you know, betting here and there, and well, for me, I'm not betting. You know, it's not betting hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I mean, I've seen guys, especially in March Madness. Okay, and this is a shout out to Hollywood casinos in West Virginia. That's where before it came legal in Virginia. During March Madness, you see guys coming in with suitcases.
Oh yeah,
with security, and it's like I thought they was holding the football. Like it's like, you know, it reminded me of Ocean's 11. Vladimir,
they got the briefcase handcuffed to the arm. I've seen that before in a casino.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you got the guy walking in with a briefcase handcuffed to his arms. Nobody can take it. And then he takes to the counter, opens it up, and it's just nothing but $100 bills just stacked in there.
It's unbelievable. I saw it live. This was years and years and years and years ago. Okay. And you know, and it was, I think it was like $100,000. Hey, put it on Duke to, you know, whatever. And hey, we got to count it in the back. Hey, no problem. Hey, let's get you a drink. Your food, room, comp free. Why they do that? For those who are interested, they want you to. The casino doesn't make money on the stupid drinks. They don't make money on the restaurants, the buffets. They don't care about that garbage.
That's why they have so many comps for all that. They comp everybody for that stuff. It's because they want you to be betting more and more. That's what they want you. Yeah.
Yes. You want to go see Celine Dion or see what do you call it, Siegfried and Roy, which, you know, I'm just using, you know, this is back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. You want to see who Neil Diamond or whatever, you know, Tom Jones? No big deal. We get you seats like that. Okay. Cirque du Soleil, no big deal. But when it comes to the casinos, and you have to see the movie, it's like the movie Casino.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great movie. But it also reminds me of this poker thing. Reminds me of Rounders. Did you ever see Rounders?
Oh, I love Rounders. That's a great movie. That's a great movie.
It's when they went to the lodge with
pay that man his money.
it was remember the police lodge where they're playing poker and
he gets caught dealing top dealing or bottom dealing.
Base stealer here. We got a base stealer.
Yeah. The other one I thought of. You ever seen this movie? It came out probably about 10 years ago now. It's called Molly's Game. You ever seen that?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I've heard of it though.
That's a good movie too, and that's about similar to this. She was running this lady Molly. I can't remember her last name, but it's called Molly's Game.
Not
Ringwald. She was not Ringwald. No, but she was running these high-end poker games like this, and she had like these huge celebrities coming, like actors, like A-list actors, like Ben Affleck and like Brad Pitt and people like that, Matt Damon, and they were coming to these games. And she got charged with like racketeering and money laundering and a whole bunch of different stuff came down on. And the charges for this are like pretty much the same. It's money laundering, it's racketeering, it's theft, it's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's crazy. Yeah. And what's crazy to me is I sent you this. It's not like they need the money. Rozier has made $160 million in his NBA career, and he's only 31. So he could have had another 3-4 years in the NBA. He probably could have gotten over $200 million in his career, unless he's just spending cash like crazy. I don't understand where that money's going.
Right.
And Billups made $106 million through his NBA career, and that's not including what he's getting paid as a coach. I don't know what he's getting paid as a coach. Probably, a couple million a year or whatever to do that, right? Most coaches probably in that range, in the the $2 to $10 million range, unless you're top of the food chain coach, like a Greg Popovich back in the day or whatever.
Sure. Or even the Zen Master.
Phil Jackson. Yeah.
So I was speaking of basketball. I was interested. I should have before we got on the air. I wasn't even thinking about the San Diego. No, excuse me, the I keep calling them San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers and Minnesota Viking game, but they had the Inside the NBA currently on ESPN with the guy Ernie and the crew. Charles Barkley is a gambler too. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from anybody's lifestyle. Whatever you do with your money, that's none of my business, right? But I'm telling, I would love to have heard his take on it, especially the guy from PTI, Tony and Mike. I didn't have a chance to watch it, but I'm eager to watch it and see. This is huge news. Huge news.
Yeah, Charles Barkley's pretty open about his gambling. He gambles a lot. He always says he doesn't gamble in the NBA. I'll take him at his word. I believe him, but it's he doesn't want trouble because he covers the game and he talks to these players all the time, and he's like, it's just too close to him. And if you're affiliated with the NBA, that's when you get in trouble. And he's like, but Charles Barkley, I don't know if you know this about him, huge hockey fan. He loves hockey.
I didn't even know that.
He's a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
He's huge. They bring him on during the Stanley Cup playoffs sometimes. He'll come on and talk hockey before a game on TNT or something like that. That's when he was working for TNT, but now he's not. So I doubt he's going to be on this year, which is going to suck because I love Charles. He cracks me up.
And I know I'm going on a side road here, but I hope they continue to do the NCAA March Madness. I really do. I think they made a huge deal. TNT, same music, same studio, and they made a deal with ESPN, so they just switched that. And I love it. Hands down. But I hope March Madness. I think they do a hell of a job for CBS. I wish they could, if they're able to. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I love the guys. I know Shaq's not part of that, but Charles, Kenny, the Jet Smith,
Ernie.
Love Ernie. Ernie's the man.
Ernie.
Hats off to him. But I hope they do it.
Yeah, the other thing I talked about is the NBA's gone through this before, especially with the Terry Rozier stuff, is with the officiating. Remember with Tim Donaghy back in the day?
Yeah.
So it's not like this is new to the NBA. And people online, if you read on Twitter and stuff like that, or X now, you hear people on there and they're saying how much they still think the NBA is rigged, and like, hey, I had this player to get 20 plus points. He had 19 in the third quarter. And somehow didn't have enough shot in the fourth quarter, even though the team was only down by 1 or whatever for the rest of the game. And it's crazy, some of the stuff you can find on the NBA. And so the NBA has to, I think, have to do a deep investigation on this. They have to, because like I said, if people start believing your game is rigged, people are just going to stop watching. They're not going to watch.
Absolutely,
they're not going to.
Absolutely. And rumor has it there's other players involved. But they were smart about it. They're like, okay, hey, look, I'll do a couple here, a couple here. Again, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying that's what's the rumor that's going on. But I agree with you. The NBA, they've got Adam Silver has to work with these books, and you're cheating people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
What we do, we're transparent, and we're just saying, hey, look, this is what we're gonna. We think we're using Chargers for example. Chargers are going to win -3. Okay, hey, I think that's what's going to hit. We don't know, but knowing what the outcome is going to be, and you're stealing from the people, man, this is huge. I wonder what the stock market's going to look at like,
and that opens it up to them up to class action lawsuits to the NBA and even possibly these sports books. So I'm sure these sports books are going to start pressuring the NBA and be like, hey, you need to get this under control, because they don't want to be paying out, millions of dollars for these class action lawsuits if they have to. Right. So Adam Silver's got to do something. He's going to have to crack down on this hard. Hard.
But how do you take care of the customer? Because, the customer is, who's the one that's paying, they're the one investing $5, $10, $100, $5,000, whatever. But if I had, I'm using hypothetical, if I had something like $1 million on this guy to go over 15 and a half points and he doesn't do it, and again, I don't have $1 million. It's hypothetical. Then and oh man, oh no wonder I knew it wasn't me. It's the books, or this guy was a crook.
Yeah. It opens it up to all that, and you can't have that as a sport. You just can't. It's going to kill him. It's going to be a death. It's going to be a distance. It's going to be a distance. And the NBA has been trending upwards. The viewership, it went down for a while. For the last 10 years ago or so, it was down. It's been trending back up. They still make plenty of money. Don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near the size of the NFL. But nothing is. The only thing close to the NFL is the college football. College football is the second most watched sport in the United States.
Right.
But yeah, but if this happens, it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them bad. It's going to hurt them real bad.
You don't see this situation in soccer. Oh man,
you see it in baseball. Remember Ohtani? Remember his trainer was making bets for him.
The late Pete Rose.
Yeah,
I mean, but
Ohtani, I don't think was shaving points or shaving because that guy he hits a home run pretty much every game.
I'm surprised. We just completed our UFC 321, folks, our live show there, but I would be surprised that no one, or the Mafia. Again, I'm not making accusations, but I'm surprised no one has confronted, for example, Aspinall. Again, I'm just using name for an example to say, hey man, you take a dive in the second.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, boxing was known for that for years, especially the Don King years, right?
Yeah. Only in America.
They were known for that for years, and then that killed boxing. I mean, boxing used to be top of the top, right up there with all the big sports.
Yeah,
right up there.
Yeah,
and then now it's hard to name more than 5 or 6 boxers.
Yeah, I agree. But him with the little only in America.
And UFC needs to be careful. Now with their new deal with Paramount, Dana White says he's going to increase fighter pay. Their fighter pay is low. It's super low. I think the fighters only get paid 30% of the deal, where most leagues they get at least half.
Right.
Like NFL, I think they get 55% of the money goes to the players. NBA is 60%. It's pretty high for NBA. Baseball is right up there with NBA. But the UFC is at 25% or 30%. I remember seeing it, and then that opens up to it too. If you don't pay them enough, that's when you're more prone to have those type things.
Right.
Is because fighters be like, hey, I'm only making $500,000 for this fight, and I got to pay my training. I got to pay my trainer. I got to pay my the people I train with. Right. I got to pay the gym I belong to. And so when you take all that stuff out of their paycheck, they're really not making a ton of money. Unless you're up in the championship levels, they're making pretty good money. But if you're a guy starting out on the prelim cards trying to work your way up, you're not making much money in the UFC right now, and that needs to change.
I agree, and that happened to Tyson years and years ago, and people were manipulating. He would make a big bank, but hey, I got to pay my head trainer, I got to pay my cut man, I got to do this, I felt bad for the guy. I really did. I mean, Tyson has obviously gotten older. I love his style, but back when he was a kid, when I say kid, he was in his 20s. I watched him when I was, I was a teenager watching a fight. But man, these promoters and all that, it just reminds me of Rocky V. Man, they take advantage here. They're like bloodsuckers, and it's true. And I felt bad for Tyson. And I think Tyson, didn't he file for bankruptcy a couple times?
Yeah.
I mean, poor guy. He's doing well. I think he's doing okay now, but.
I think what hurt Tyson the most is his original trainer, Custy D'Amato, who's Hall of Fame boxing trainer.
Customato,
Customato, he took Tyson under his wing because Tyson was growing up in a super bad neighborhood. He adopted him when he was 16 or something like that, and he saw the potential in him. And he was like, "Hey, you're going to be a hell of a fighter." And he taught him the ropes, did all this other stuff. And as soon as he died, that's when all this crazy stuff started happening with Tyson. I think that was a huge, huge moment in Tyson's life. I think if he could hope, I get it. He was an older man. He died. It happens. But if he would have got stuck around a little bit longer, I think Tyson would have been in a much better shape.
Well, it's not only that. It's as soon as he died, then I think he trusted too many people. I think something in the documentary that he said. And of course, he went to jail. He did all that. I get all that, but man, and maybe it was a maturity thing, or maybe he just wasn't. I don't want to say educated enough, but you know what I mean in the business.
Yeah.
Okay, but Don King and people like that, man, took advantage.
Yeah, Don King took a huge advantage of him. Huge advantage of him. And when people like that know Tyson and talk about him, they say he is like a very he trusts like almost anybody with anything. They said like, yeah, he's a few bad, but outside of that, he's actually a nice guy. He's really cool to hang out with, and he trusts people a lot, and maybe too much, and that's what probably was his downfall too. But I think Costa de Amado, like I think once he died, that was his starting to decline for Tyson. There, that's when all of his stuff started happening.
Right.
But yeah. Anyways, getting back to this news, crazy news. Crazy news. I couldn't believe it when I was hearing it, and more stuff's coming out every day, every minute. Yeah. Like I said, literally, if you go online and go to USA Today and type in Chauncey Billups, there's a live feed, and they just keep updating it. And there's literally every 5 or 10 minutes they're updating it with new information. It's crazy what's coming out.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the news earlier, there was a line of agents.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sports betting, what the hell's going on? Blah, blah, blah. But then they start bringing in mafia and all this. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's like they were bringing 50 guys. It was like a whole, okay, Patel's there. Okay, it's New York. Got his brother, I think, over there. Okay, no big deal. But then they were bringing everybody in their, out of the woodwork. And it's like, oh, we've been doing this. It's like, holy. So I didn't know the whole story.
Yeah, with that much money and then the mob involvement and going over multiple state lines, the FBI is going to be all over that, especially as soon as you get that mob tie in there. They love to try and take down the mob.
Right.
That's what they always do it.
But 11 states?
Yeah. It is crazy.
Holy cow.
All right, fans, let us know what you think. What's your thoughts about Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and everything that's happening with the NBA and these illegal rigged poker games that was happening with them and their connection to the mob? We had our piece and we talked about it. I think we both agree that the Terry Rozier one is probably worse for the NBA because that was actually on the court. Allegedly, we should say again, innocent until proven guilty, allegedly, but that was more on the court in actual NBA games. But let us know in the comments. What do you think? Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you get the new icon, the new notification every time our videos come out. We'd love to talk to you in the comments. We try to respond to everybody. We'd love to hear from you. Hit that thumbs up. It really helps and support us. And spread the word and tell your friends. And we'd like to talk to you soon. And check us out Friday. We're going to have our NFL and NCAA picks for this upcoming weekend. We are on fire for both of those right now. We've been 10-2 over the last 2 weeks in the NFL, and college. The wise man is like 9-0 over the last 3 weeks. I was 3-1 last week with my picks. We're lighting it up. No insider information here.
Exactly. No. Trust me.
Our bets are done.
Follow the numbers. It's not for the FBI. Follow the money.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Paulie and Mitch. We love you guys. Hope to see you soon. But we look at the number. It's a numbers game. Okay. Yep. We look at the numbers. We compare something. Stick it on the one. It's a hobby. We look.
Yep. All my picks. I do a lot of research and I look at a lot of data. That's all I do. I look at numbers and especially with over unders and stuff like that. I look at a lot of data, look at a lot of numbers, crunch some numbers, be like, all right, this line's sitting too low. I think it's going to go higher. Stuff like that. Example number one, the Ducks Bruins game tonight. I had the over, and it's easily hitting. So that was just based on. I was just looking at goalie save percentages and shots on goal and stuff like that. Ducks just scored in the background. It looks like.
Yep.
What's
11 total goals.
Oh, way over.
6-5 Duckies.
Way over. Oh my gosh.
And
it was 4-4.
We're gonna get cut short on 5-5 with the Rangers game.
Oh. Yep.
And an update: 21-3 Chargers as we enter the half.
Man, I'm looking at the NHL scores. I haven't been watching because we've been online here, but man, some of these scores are so super high today. Good God, a lot of overs today. A lot of overs. A lot of overs. Crazy.
Yeah, and real quick, yeah, I do the research as well. You know, I've been on fire. MLS, EFL championship. We'll do. I think I'm cutting a League One. I don't know. I just do what they tell me to do. So La Liga's already out. The EPL is already out. They already uploaded. So we'll get that information out to you. But again, it's based on experience. It's based on, you know, I'm not traveling to England every single day, so I don't even know. I'm going based on what's being reported. I look at the data. I look at the previous, you know, if there's any injuries, blah blah blah. You know, the previous game, how they do. But you know, you know, we're just basing everything on what we see and what we hear. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, you know, we're not perfect.
We give you our best predictions, what we think is going to happen based on what we see, based on our knowledge. Like football, we both very knowledgeable. Like we both played football. I played college football. We both coached football. We watch a lot of football, so it's based on what you see and what you see, the numbers and all that stuff. So, but we're not the ones telling Terry Rozier to sit out in the fourth quarter when he's a point away from going over his total there.
It's not like I'm saying, hey, I don't know what cover 2 means. Or here's the best one I ever heard in my life when I was coaching. A comeback route where, you know, you're going, you know, people can go, it depends, 10, 12, 15 yards, cut to the outside. You're you know, you're angling outside to the sidelines. This guy's telling me angle it inside like a curl. I'm like, no, that's a curl. No, that's a curl. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, comeback's definitely outside.
So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to football.
Comeback's definitely outside. Yeah. You can run at different lanes. Some people go 15 back to 12. Some people did do different lanes, but and different schemes might have different.
Sure. And I coach with a guy where it's like, hey, we're counting steps. We're not counting yards. Whatever. I prefer yards. Some people prefer steps. Tomato, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the stuff that we do, this is a hobby. We're not, you know, that's why we give us whatever, man. We're happy. I love what I'm doing. But yeah, it's all free. I'm not charging anybody. I mean, if somebody picks us up, you know, and gives us $1 billion, who knows? Maybe one of the mafia people will, you know. You know, we'll start doing this more consistently. But I don't know. Maybe Rob will send us United Airlines. There you go, Rob.
I'd like to be around.
I butchered this name the other day, but we love you, Rob. Thank you for the kid. But yeah, come on. What are we doing? Anyway, guys, that's it for us. We're going to sign off. Have a good night. Join us tomorrow live. NFL picks. Just Shano and I. So we'll have our best 6 games. Hopefully we can go perfect. But I'll be honest with you, the spread is looking pretty tough. Or the games are looking pretty tough. We already did our Survivor and our pick'ems from last night, so that's already on YouTube, so you can catch us there. We'll do a live show on the college picks. Hopefully, I can turn that frown upside down from 0-2 to 2-0 in my Big 12. But great work that everybody's been doing. So we'll be live at 8:30 tomorrow for that, as well as we just finished our UFC 321. So catch our bets on that. Lots happening. I'll have some MLS as they start the playoffs starting Saturday. So it'll be best of 3. So we'll look into that and get you my best bets, as well as some more soccer picks. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment and tell us what you think. We'll see you next time. And always trust us with Just Win Bets, baby. See you later.